Hello everybody! I just wanted to go ahead and come on here, and this video is going to be all about how to take your current worksheets and upload them to make them digital assignments. And so this isn't going to be like a Google form, it's literally taking the worksheets that you already have and uploading them. I'm going to show you how to upload them on Google Classroom, but uploading them to a digital worksheet. So taking anything, so nothing specific. And this is great because it's kind of similar. It doesn't take a lot of steps to do this, and you get really good at it after doing it a few times. Make sure I talk about this. Okay, let's see if I can show you this slide. Okay, there we go. So any worksheet digital. So we are going to convert PDF files to Google Slides. So taking a PDF file and uploading it. I'm going to actually show you two ways on doing that. And convert a Word document to a Google slide. So taking a Word document that you have and making it a Google slide. And then the last part, which is just kind of a bonus, is how to then take those Google slides and make them assignments on Google Classroom. So those are what we're going to get into. Okay, so let me see. Minimize that. So you could take something. I'm going to start with something that maybe a lot of us have, a basic worksheet, right? So I'm going to show you two ways on, and I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller so you can see everything, two ways on how to make this into a picture file. So the first thing you want to do when you're making worksheets digital is you want to create basically a background picture, so that way students can alter what the original worksheet was. So basically it's just like giving them a flat piece of paper where they can't go back and erase the typing. You want to make something so that when you post it on Google Slides, the kids aren't moving things around on the worksheet. So I'm going to take this Pizzazz worksheet and I'm going to make it digital. I'm going to do it, like I said, two ways. So the first way is a little faster, but you'll see why it's not maybe the best way. So the first thing you're going to do is, this is just a random thing on combined like terms that I found that, might be something helpful. And I'm going to hit the print screen button so that I can snag it, this screen. There we go. So I'm going to take a picture of it. And once that loads, this is angry with me. There we go. Once that loads into the Snagit editor, I can file, save as. I'm just going to save it to my desktop, and this is combined like terms, activity. Okay. And you can save it as a PNG, or you can save it as a JPEG. That's fine too, but we'll just leave it this way. It doesn't really matter. Okay. All right, so now it'll be on my desktop. It's right here. And when I go to just like make a new one, close this window out, probably just make a new window, and I'm going to go to my Google Apps. So I'm going to actually go ahead and start making that worksheet digital. And I did this in the last video, but I'm going to go ahead and go into where I want it to be saved. People organize their folders differently. I just like everything to be in the same topic. So I'm going to go into algebra and combine like terms. I'm going to make it in here. That way it's with all my other combined like term stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make a new Google slide. And it's just a blank presentation. I always X out all this stuff and I'll like all these things. Let me see. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and title this combined like terms activity, right? Okay. And then you'll notice that like this is not the same page like size paper. So the first thing I always do when I get on here after I label it is I go ahead and change the dimensions of the slide. So I'm going to go to File, and this will make it the same size as your paper down to Page Setup. Instead of widescreen, I'm going to go to Custom. I'm going to change this literally to 8.5 by 11. And that way, after you do that, boom, it looks like a normal sheet of paper. So once you get that, now we have to add that picture that we saved of that PDF file. So I'm going to go to Background, and I'm going to go to choose image, and you can drag it from your desktop, but I'm just going to go ahead and just pick it there. My thing out so I can see it. There you go. And I'm going to upload it as the background, and there it is. Perfect. So what you could do once you're on here is you could, students, like, let me just go back to just the pointers. So like right now they can't click on anything. On the PDF copies, it's not like they can really click on them anyway, but this way they can only add stuff on here. So for this particular assignment, I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. You can see it's definitely a little blurry. So I'm going to show you a different way on how to do this so it's not so blurry, but it says simplify, and then circle the letter of each answer, and then rearrange the circled letters in the section to make a word. So like you would maybe provide, since they're circling answers, you could put some directions out in the corner. Just like do it this way. So you could say like, and so they'll see this slide when you make it available to them. Directions, circle each answer using the circles below. And then type in, I'm sure at the end, right? It's like a puzzle. Type in the letters in the boxes. So you can even like, change the font. Sometimes it's good to be a little bit bigger, right? So they can see it. I highlight, which kind of annoys some people, but there you go. Ooh. Oh, border color. That's not what I wanted to do. You could do that too, though. You could do a border color. Actually, that might be kind of nice. Make it a little thicker. Kind of play around with the format on here. I was trying to get it to highlight. That's over here. There's a nice color. And so they can see the directions there. You could write up here if you wanted them to put their name in. So they can move any of these things that I'm writing on the slide. So once it's made to them, name, and you can put type here. Sometimes it helps if like you color code everything so they see that all the red part is like what they're changing. I mean, our kids probably can just write everything in there, but that's up to you. So it might be helpful. What you can do is you can make like kind of, just do circles that are about this size. There we go. And make their fill, I know I'm going through this quickly, but it's just like some format stuff. So make their fill transparent, and again, maybe make their outline red. How does that look? It's pretty good, maybe a little bit thicker, so that way they can see it, and then drag it. And so they can drag it, and then maybe a little bit big. I'm going to squish it. And this is just like my whole life. Playing with templates. And then you can even copy and make a bunch of them. If you want to make them look really pretty, you can copy, paste, move, so that they all stack on top of each other. But you can also just kind of like, I don't ever worry too much about that. So you could just leave them out there, and then they can just drag them over. So they could do that. And then down here at the text part, you can make little text boxes, or you could even make one, and try to get the type in final, right, words here. And so just to remind them how to do that. And again, right, it's just like preference. Maybe want a little bit bigger. So that it'd be good if you could get one letter in each box. You probably can. Let's try a little bit bigger. Looks pretty good. Maybe even a little bit bigger. You could spend your whole life doing this kind of stuff. All right. So that's okay. It's not great. So you could do that, and then they could just know to type that they're supposed to type in here. You could even move it lower, like it's looking a little bit weird. So maybe just moving it lower. And these are really nice too. These little lines pop up to tell you that you're centering things. So that's nice too. Move my other way. I'm going to center that. Okay, that looks all right. So you could literally just use this as the assignment. It looks pretty good. So that's kind of the first way to do it. The only thing that's kind of a pain is that it's a little bit blurry. So now, before I show you the second way, I wanted to also show you that you can do something that may also be helpful, especially if you want to see their work. So you can make a new slide. So just hit the little, I would just hit here, and then I always pick blank or whatever. This one I guess I left a title on. Students, oops, please upload a picture of your work on this page. You must do this in order to receive credit. And you can even say, please include problem numbers, right? So it's a little easier for us to grade. Okay, or you could even put like a little, like how you wanted them to do it. All right, and we'll like make this a little bit smaller. And you could just leave it like that. And then what they could do is when they get it, they can actually do insert, and they can even, on theirs, it'll have a spot where they image, and they can literally click camera, and they can hold their picture up and then take a picture. So you could show them how to do that if that was something that you'd be interested in. Okay, so there's the only thing, like I said, that's kind of annoying about this is that it's a little bit blurry. Right, so there's a way that you can do that. It's just a few more steps. So I'm going to show you that next. If you go back, we go back to our original document. This has a lot of pages because this is the algebra pizzazz from, I don't even know, a long time ago. So the first thing I'm going to do before, I'm actually going to, so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to convert this to a JPEG. So I'm going to upload it to a website so that it takes this and saves it as a picture. And you'll see how it's a little bit, the clarity on it's a lot better. So the first thing you want to do, because it's 272 pages, is you want to, I print and I print to PDF, right? So, and then I'll just hit current page. And then I'll just, what I'll do is I'll take that one page and just save it as a solo PDF, a one pager. Let's call this combine like terms activity. Oops. Number 2. We'll just like make it a little bit different. Okay. So then I'm actually going to go back to my web browser. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so you can see me typing my stuff in. And I'm going to go to a website called I Love PDFs. I think is what it's called. There it is. So I love PDF. And this is a website, you don't have to sign or anything like that. But I'm going to go to convert PDF. Convert from PDF to JPEG. So again, this is a little bit more steps. I love PDF. There's like a bazillion of these websites out there. So if this, you know, you could literally probably Google taking a PDF to a JPEG. And then we're going to select our file. So let's go to this, right? The combined like terms. I saved it on the desktop. And I'm going to, if you had more than one page, so if we had saved it as a whole thing, you could do that. We would, but we're just going to hit convert to JPEG. So there we go. And it's doing it. And if I like move out of the way, it says download it. And then it'll actually open up as a picture. Again, the advantage of this is that the picture is going to be a lot clearer. If I can get it to work. Where did it go? Let me see if I can zoom it out. I could go back to downloads, but let me just try it one more time to see if I messed it up. Okay, select PDF file. And then I'm gonna, okay. Things in the way. Sorry. Okay, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so from there, let me just kind of move this back around. We're going to go ahead and right-click, Save As, and then I can type in, I'm just going to leave it that way. Whatever, page 100. Doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to go back to here. I'm actually going to, instead of having to retype all this in just to show you, I'm just going to right-click and hit Duplicate Slide. And all I have to do is change the background. So I'm going to go to background, choose image, and then I'm going to use that new one that had all the weird stuff at the end. And open, and done. And so a little bit more steps, but you can probably already tell, oops, that it's a lot clearer. It looks a lot clearer than this one. That's very blurry. It's almost hard to read the words. So that's probably going to be a good option if you're doing more of these and you feel comfortable doing it that way. But it's totally obviously up to what you want to do, and that's one thing. Okay, so that is how to convert a PDF. I also wanted to show you how to convert just a Word document. So this would actually work for if you had PowerPoint. You could use it for a lot of stuff. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing. So I'm going to pull up, get rid of this, pull up a Word document. So this is something that I made last year. Used to be like a round robin thing, but I don't think that's going to be happening this year. Do File and then Save As. And then I can change it to a PDF file. I'm going to put it, let me just click here. We'll just save it to the desktop. And if I do that, it'll save as a PDF first. And so once it's saved as a PDF first, we can change it from there. So I'm just going to do the same thing like I did last time. I'm going to I love PDF. Again, you could just snag it and upload that, but I'm going to convert from PDF to JPEG, and then I'm going to select the functions worksheet. And so every page of this PDF, okay, perfect. So it's going to convert all of them for me. And I have to move this out of the way. There we go. So I can get it opened. This is going to take like a minute probably because there's a couple in there. There it goes. And then what you can do, I'm going to say the Shift key, and then I'm going to save all of these onto my desktop. And I'll save each page as a separate picture. So from there, I can go back, and this is, cross this out, I can go back to my Google Drive, and then I'm going to go to functions. This was like a function worksheet. It's actually pre-algebra, but we'll use it in here. And I'm going to hit New, Google Slide, and then type in here functions worksheet. So the same way I did it last time. And then I'm going to change the slide size, page setup to 8.5 by 11. So if it's landscape, you could switch it. If you feel like a landscape paper, you do 11 by 8.5. And then delete all this out. And then I would do the same thing. I'm going to add the background, choose image, and then you just would enter the 001 because that's page 1. Move me out of the way. And that's what it looks like. It looks pretty good. And so you could even, like for this one, I was asking people to make a mapping and tables. You could actually make them 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay, so I could do, you could draw it on there for them, or you don't have to, right? You could like tell them they had to draw it. I was trying to get that green, but I'm not going to play around with that with you guys. Like the amount of time of the format. Okay, but like maybe you want to draw this, right? And then they know they have to type here. You could even add that, right? There's just so much, right? You could give them a lot, or you could not. It's just totally what you want to do. And then, honestly, I could just use that one. So I'm just going to copy, paste, and you could even give them arrows. You could make tables. You could do whatever you want. Give them some points. That's probably what I would do. Probably because like the points are not good. I did learn some trick about like if you hold, is it shift? It like will do it proportional. Learn that. Okay, so then you could do like fill. So it looks like little dots, right? And then they could move these to the graph. And you could even, like I said, it really helps, honestly, when you do them in colors because they see where you want them to do stuff. So maybe we'll do red. And the same thing here. Probably should leave this red too, yeah. And then make a table, so you could just do that, and they could fill that in. Insert table. You could just, anyway, you could, you know, it goes forever. You could do like a ton of stuff. Probably by 5. And resize it. Okay, well, I don't want to get too much into it, but that's how I would start setting this up. And then I would, instead of just doing a new slide, I would always duplicate, especially if you're using kind of similar things, and then change the background to page 2. This one, it doesn't really have a lot of work because it's just functions. So you would then, like, it's a little bit off on the typing, so you can kind of move stuff around. And even giving them like a blank text box for this question where they have to say why it's a function, type your answer here. Can really help them. Gives them like something to start with, and then you don't have like crazy fonts all over the place. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing, duplicates. I think I had 4 of these. Background, and choose this. So it's actually not too bad. It's not a lot of formatting. It just kind of depends what you want it to look like. So that's kind of what it would look like. So you would just do that from there. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show you, yeah, and like I said too, all of these things can move, but none of the background stuff moves. So they can't like type on the text or anything like that, or move your text around. It looks pretty nice, so they know to type their name and all that. So the last thing I wanted to show you on this was like, well, what do you do once you make it? How to post it in Google Classroom. I have a fake class right now, so it's a good time for that. Look, Ms. Darndoni added me in her class. But you would go to your Google Classroom, and then what you would do is you go to classwork and create. And I always make it an assignment, and then you would type in like functions, classwork, assignment, right? So I try to remind them to make sure to turn in the assignment once it, after you have completed it. So they have to like mark it done or turn it in or whatever it's called. And then you could say, you know, what the point value is. We could maybe say 4 because, well, I guess I only did 3, so we'll just say 3 maybe, depending on what, or maybe you would say 12 because there was like 4 boxes per slide. In another video I'm going to make later is going to show you, if you have an iPad, how easy it is to grade things. So you could make, let me get this thing out of the way. You can make a due date. So we'd say it's due like Friday or something at a certain time, sure. And something that you might want to do too is in topics. That's another thing. Like you can organize your Google Classroom. I always organize it by units, but you know, again, that's not this video. And so everything's kind of filled out on here. And once you get that done, you can add your presentation. So you just go to Google Slide. And it's really nice because if you're just working on something, it's going to know. Google. And the really important part is here is you want to change this so that make a copy for each student if you're giving this as a worksheet. If you were going to give them like maybe a Google Slide presentation where everybody was working on one slide, that's something that we've done in classwork before, especially with distance learning, like providing an assignment, but that would be edit if you wanted them all in one document. But in this case, you want to make a copy for each student. That way they know. It gives them each their own. And that would be it. So as long as it looked good, you could assign it. You can also, if you make this ahead of time, you could schedule it so you can make it for the time that you see them in class. That way it's not just dinging at them on their phone. And let's just say I hit assign. So once I've assigned it, I can actually watch them complete it live. So if you give this to us like a classwork assignment, you can actually see them typing in things. There's nobody in my class, but if there was, there'd be people here. And then you can actually click through their assignments. There's like a little drop-down menu. And then you can see it and then write in, comment, or whatever you want to do. And then give them their grades and things like that in there as well. So that's pretty much it. I want to make sure I say everything. Post in Google Classroom, putting Google's up. Make sure you use it as a background object of your worksheet so they don't move stuff. Using the PDF converter, or snagging if you don't really care too much about the quality of the image. Okay, I hope that was super helpful. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.